What up? What up? What up? Pop. So let me see if this thing decides that it wants to do the right thing, homie. Because it been going left lately. But ping, it seems like it's popping right now. So boom, let's get to it. Ping. So yo, there's been a lot going on, homie. Yo, you remember on Rikers Island, there was smokes. Facts. I remember that. The smokes were definitely there. Hold on, bro, because this thing, I know.
Now, the medical, 32-year-old.
So on Rikers Island, at one point or another, when I was on Rikers Island, I remember them being a clique or a gang called Smokes. You remember the Umos? The Smokes, right? It was like one of the first cliques, like black, right before blood started popping out. There was Smokes in the 90's, bro. Facts, because I was there. 91, 92, 93, all types. I was there back to back, respectfully. But there was Smokes, bro. I remember Smokes before blood, before CRIPS, before anything. It was Umos, bro. I remember that, bro. And I was just thinking about it, like, why was I thinking about the Smokes? Oh, I think I went to smoke. It's so crazy, bro. But I was bugging out with my setup here, and I'm thinking about, yo, there was Smokes, bro. And nobody really talks about the Smokes. So it goes to show you how many dudes was really on the island in the 90's, bro. Because if you was there in the 90's and you was in the buildings that was popping, you been around the Smokes. Now, a lot of them Smokes, if I'm not mistaken, they turned blood. You feel me? They went on to do their thing. But it was Umos at first, bro. Respectfully, right? Yo, look at my guy in the comment section. He said there was Smokes. You see? Facts. I remember Smokes in the 90's. That's what's up. Hit that 100, that heart. Ping, ping, ping. You see the hundreds I'm sending out? Umo. Can you see the hundreds that I'm sending out? So there was Smokes, you see? There was Smokes, bro. Shout out from the Dominican Republic. Dale, Warpath. You already know. Hundreds. I'm sending hundreds. Yo, but on Rikers Island, one of the deepest, and they was deep, bro. The Umos were deep. You remember them? I remember them like if I was there yesterday, bro. Facts. So I remember when I went to the yard in the Beacon, I was in 9B. And then I had a little problem with the CO, so they put me like in a working dorm. He packed me up to get me out of 9B because he knew I was comfortable in 9-blood. You get it? But the only dude that was at that moment when there was Smokes, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the first bloods that I ever met. Facts. And it was Facts. Was the first blood that I ever ran into. Like, yo, who's this son? Whose son? First of all, when I got in the crib, they told me, yo, knocked the dude out and cut him. Pop. The Spanish niggas came crying to me immediately. Boom, because they seen like shorties about it. I went in like, Pop, what up? I seen a dude with a big Santa Barbara plate. You know the big Saint, the Barbara thing with the thing around it, and the Santa Barbara's in the middle, Pop. And then he had a Saint Lazarus, the big San Lazaro with the two dogs with the crushers. And I looked at his chain, Pop, and I said, oh, I had a cross. I had a big cross with a nice piece. But I looked at his piece, I said, oh, man. Boom. But he was not blood. I forgot his name, bro. But anyway, bottom line is I wind up getting packed up, and then they pack me up again like 4 days later, and I'm like, yo, where am I going? And they bring me back to 9B. You get it? That was cool. That I don't know. I think and them put in that word to bring me back. It wasn't the officer, but as soon as I got to 9B, dudes try to pull up. Yo, where you coming from? Boom, I told him where I was coming from. And out of nowhere, me and the blood nigga, we got the closest. Facts. But after I got close to him, boo, and everything, and I've been around him, boo, then dudes come and tell me, yo, you know that Prieto that you with? I was like, yeah. They say he just ripped a Spanish nigga up out of here. And I was like, what? So I stepped to him. I asked him, because I was already talking to Unt. And I was like, yo, Unt, they say you just twisted. He was like, yeah, bro, the dude violated. But he explained to me, like, yo, War, I don't get down like that, bro. So don't mistake me for none of these dudes. Like, what he was trying to explain was that he respect everybody. Listen, a lot of people beg to differ. A lot of people been around Unt and all that, and they got different stories. I'm telling you, when I was around Unt, how he behaved and what he was doing. You get it? So he explained to me, not that he had to explain to me nothing, right? But he just felt like, I see that you with protecting and standing up for the Latinos, War. So I'm going to keep it a stack and tell you what happened. So he kind of sort of explained himself to me, and I was like, it's all good. And then that was it. The whole time I was there, he didn't have no problems with no Spanish niggas. The Spanish niggas he'd be like, yo, you want to get on? Hurry up, get on. He putting Spanish niggas on the phone and all that. But then there was a dude, his name was Jose. I'm trying to think of all, because when I sit back and I think of all the derelict moves that a lot of so-called gangsters did. And I'm like, what a penco, right? So I'm thinking about, there was this dude named Jose too. I forgot his name, bro. His whatever, his king name. But apparently he was king. Now I'm running around 9 blood like I'm king. You get it? Boom. I'm the king of the beacon. Facts. Ask anybody that was ever been locked up with me on Rikers Island. They gonna tell you how War give it up. Respectfully, right? But anyway, son never told me he was king. He never claimed king to me. You get it? Then, mind you, like 5 months passed by, bro. Facts. And this nigga's like, yo, come here. And I'm like, what up? And he goes, "Tú eres rey?" And I'm like, yeah, bro, you know that. That's a stupid question. Then he identifies himself like, yo, my name is so. I said, yo, bro, do me a favor, homie. Respectfully, don't say nothing to me, bro, while you in here. You know why I did him dirty like that? Because, bro, how I walk in that house, dolo, boom, I'm in the room with niggas in the cell, and the Prietos is running up to the cell like, yo, what house you coming? Yo, where you coming from? Like questioning me, right? All types of shit. So I said, cool, because I already understand the island and shit like that. I do that to niggas too when they first come to our house. They go in their cell, bring their shit in, boom. I step to them like, yo, where you coming from, huh? But my whole take is this, bro, and tell me if I'm wrong. He never once in his life told me that he was king. Up to 5 months later, bro? Come on, bro. That's crazy. So I think he waited, as I think about it, and I'm pretty sure I thought about it back then, but he waited, homie, to man niggas. You get it? You waited. You seen niggas come ask me shit. Boom. You see me get into an argument with a nigga. You get it? I had a jack in there. I always had a jack wherever I went. Facts, respectfully. Niggas could say what they want to say. Yo, gave you that phone or what have you. Whatever, bro. But niggas knew that I needed a phone. Respectfully, you heard? If there was no a phone for the Latinos, nigga, I'm chopping somebody's neck off respectfully. And I always had the same story since I've been on YouTube and any platform, bro. Respectfully. So it's not like I'm just saying this now. You could go back and look at all my videos from when I first started making content, and I say it loud, proud, all types of shit. If I was lying, somebody that was with me locked up would have been like, son is lying. Don't you think so? I'm just saying, respectfully, if I ever said a lie about Rikers Island, the state penitentiary, or any place that I've been at, one of these dudes would have been said, yo, I was with boy. Boy is lying. Facts. The only thing that happened was one of these blood niggas, this little blood nigga that was with me, he tried to hit me and be like, I don't know, he was with me and he was my man all the way along till he left. I even seen him in the street, son. And I said, yo, what up? And he was with his girl, and I tapped him, yo, what up, my nigga? And he said, what's up to me and all that. All of a sudden, now son seen I had a few thousand subs. I guess he probably thought this was my only channel. And he tried to like go comment like if his boy got told on. And I was like, yo, that's you, you dummy. You seen me like 1,000,000 times, bro. You get it? But I let him know, if that's you, when I see you, I'm gonna pop your melon. Because you never stepped to me with that rah-rah shit. And this is what I'm saying. When you get into a fight, and the police take you or something, right? Or whatever, they can ask you anything. How you gonna say that you got a feeling that niggas told or what have you? Yo, bro, if two people get into a fight, brum, like me and somebody get into a fight, bro, the CO come and be like, you pack up. Bro, they saw us fighting. Of course we packing up. You get it? Somebody's packing up. So I guess that he tried to say like somebody told on his man or what have you, but that wasn't his attitude. Cause I'm saying, you's a bird then. You a bird. If that's the way you felt, right? That somebody told on your man, right? How you still living with us in the same house, bro? Your man got packed up because you ever seen them dudes fight? He had a fight, bro, and then when you done with the fight, he starts wilding like, fuck all y'all niggas. And he made a commotion, bro. He blew it up. So they packed him up. You get it? So for you to come and tell me like somebody told on your man, or if I told on your man, bro, help me make it make sense. That shit didn't even make sense to me. I never paid it no mind. I guess I'm just talking about it now, but this is old news. I've been talked about this 1,000,000 times. Boom. And them niggas is from around my way. Facts. In Brooklyn. But what I'm saying is they were bloods. They are bloods. But homie, you make the blood situation look bad, because if you felt that anybody, let's say they told on your man or what have you, right? Then why you didn't do nothing? You get it? Why you didn't say nothing? That didn't make no sense to me, bro. And that's how I got the nigga, because then when he tried to say little things on the internet, I posted his picture. And I post his picture a lot. You get it? I still post his picture. He's a blood nigga that has all the red with the red and white sneakers that I be posting. Boom. He's in a lot of like the thumbnails. You can find him in the thumbnails and in the middle of like videos of live streams. I don't put him in no videos, but I do put him in live streams. Right? What was his fucking name, bro? Damn, how can I forget son's name, bro? But I guess I got 1,000,000 things on my mind. But anyway, the nigga to say that somebody told on son is like the stupidest thing in the world. If somebody told on your man, then you's a bird, because you still with us. You used to wake me up for breakfast, and he still continuously did this. Oh, Doughboy. Facts. That's his name, Doughboy. Doughboy. So Doughboy comes out and saying, look, I don't even care about it. I mention it. You get it? Because I understand that nigga was bugging, bro. You get it? I said, yo, how the fuck? I never in my life had no label on me or nothing of like, yo, you told, nigga. Like, you get it? And this nigga's gonna be like, yo, y'all niggas told on my man. Y'all niggas is a lot of people. Me and his man fought alone in the bathroom. The police went in the bathroom and was like, you and you, come on. You could tell we was thumping. You get it? And his man was like patting his face. You get it? He was way tall. He was like 6 foot something. So he caught like a few more shots than me. Boom, boom. Because at first I thought like, son is playing? Like I didn't know he wanted to fight, right? So he just swung. Boom. I weaved him. Whop. Right? Whop. He missed. I said, whop. What's up, nigga? You bugging? Bing. And then he was like, come on. And I'm like, yo, you serious, son? I even had to ask this cat, yo, homie, are you serious? Right? I promise you, bro. I swear to God, because we used to play a lot. You got to understand. You get it? That's our vibe. The same way I'm on the internet, homie, I was up north. I was a wild ass kid. Every spot that I went to, bro. Facts. And his man acted up. So then I put it on him. Ping, 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 ping. And we shot a fair one. And they was in the bathroom too. Like our peoples, like my niggas was on, like break him up. Yo, that's it, separated. Like when we start grabbing each other. Because he was grabbing me. I'm not gonna grab him. You get it? I had to grab up on him. Like, son is grabbing me, nigga, like wrestling. So I did the same bang. But he caught a few good shots. I give it to him because he was mad tall. But it wasn't a situation where, damn, he just fucked you up, boy. Pack up. Nah, nobody is ever gonna pack me up. I've never been packed up. And that shit was a lie. Like, it just kills me. Even his man, the kid that I had to fight with, son is not even saying somebody told on me. You get it? Like, he's not even saying somebody told on me. So son is the one that I guess he felt brave and seen us posting. I guess like a lot of niggas see you making content, right? And they become jealous, bro. I don't know if it's jealous or what is it, bro, right? Because you could do the same, right? But I always tell people, if you're going to do the same and you're going to make content, make sure you get paid for it, bro. Because respectfully, I get paid to do whatever I do on the internet. And I have numerous of platforms. I built channels to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 subscribers, and I give them away. Respectfully, you can ask anybody. I've been doing that for years. And the bottom line is that I'm a jail nigga. When I was making content and posting and all that and showing people my setup, like, yo, this is what you buy, get this, get that, right? There was a lot of dudes that didn't understand the internet. So I'm not the stupidest nigga in the world. I may not be the smartest nigga, but I promise you, I'm not the dumbest nigga. You heard? Respectfully. So ever since I've been on the internet, I've gotten paid from the internet. Respectfully, right? And when I was showing dudes, yo, this is how you do it. This is what you buy. This is what you need. A lot of haters came. It came with a lot of hate, but then I try to understand it. Like, yo, I kind of sort of get it, right? This nigga said I was in PC. I was in PC. Yeah, okay. Yo, so respectfully, right? I made a lot of dudes sign into PC. That's a fact. Respectfully, yo, I did so many state bids and I've been on Rikers Island so many times. I don't even know. How do you get to PC? How do you get to PC? Does anybody know how you get to PC? I think you would have to say like, yo, I can't live here. Yo, bro, I would never, listen to me. I would never in my life, in a million years, you never see me sign into PC. I could be 90 years old, end up at Rikers Island, and I'll never in my life will sign in. There's nobody in this world that can make me sign in because Rikers Island is the most pussiest jail. Facts. I ran through that shit. I ate that shit, bro. Respectfully, I have over 22 arrests and over 19 convictions, boy. Look me up. But I got 3 trials, boy, and I beat them all. Pop, 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 pop. Facts. But how the fuck you sign into PC? Because a lot of these niggas, I mean, I don't need to know like I'm gonna sign in, right? But these dudes, they be talking to you, and next thing you know, your son signed in. I'm like, yo, how the fuck? Yo, these niggas know magic or something, bro? But yeah, I never do that, bro. Facts. You never see me sign in, bro. Respectfully. There's not a gang. Listen to me. There's not a gang with the balls big enough that I get to Rikers Island and the niggas be like, yo, Ward, you gotta sign in. There's no gang that exists right now in New York City or nowhere that's gonna see Warpath in Rikers Island and tell Warpath you gotta sign in. When I get to Rikers Island, if you next to me, then you're gonna say, damn, son, hold wait. I promise you, nigga, I just don't front for the internet. I've been saying the same things that I'm saying right now and harder than this since I've been on the internet. And nobody with validation, like a person that shows his picture, that you could see him in a video and that he lives in New York City in the boroughs, has ever come out and say, yo, son is lying, bro. Shut up already. Facts. Because number one is I'm gonna pound him to next week. Facts, respectfully. And if it was a fake nigga saying what I'm saying, niggas would have been said that, bro. My videos, people see my videos, nigga. But a New York City nigga, that's what I'm saying. A New York City nigga that's been on Rikers Island, that knows about gang life, that knows niggas that's active till date, and that's been active for like 20 years. Because you can't go talk to a little nigga and be like, yo, and you can ask him about Warpath, right? Not that he's not going to know who Warpath is, but to ask him what went on in the 90s, nigga, you got to ask a nigga that was there with us. You get it? Bro, anywhere that I went, I had it smashed. Every house that I went to, I took the phone. Believe me, I've never got time like from you. Like you give me 20 minutes on the phone. I don't want 20 minutes. I'm coming for the phone, nigga. Disrespectfully. I did that every time, every house I went to. I did that. Facts. Ask anybody that know me. Facts. And I'm not saying that to show off. I'm just saying that for the penco, the viejo that's here, could grow a set of balls, right? Because a lot of people are shook and scared. You do crime and then you get locked up and you the biggest biatch. Hit that 100. Ping, 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 ping. Here's 500. Here's $1,000. Ding, 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 ding. Peace, homeboy. Nah, say peace to your mother, nigga. Don't say peace to me, you punk. Nigga said peace. You a clown, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Peace. You think I'ma talk to you? You a lame, nigga. You the type of nigga that goes comment on everybody's thing. Nigga has no pictures. Nigga has no videos. Nothing. Because if he shows a video of who he really is, you're gonna see him with chickens in his backyard. You're gonna see all the animals, nigga. Facts. You live in a farm, nigga. You Pepe. I hate little birds like that, bro. Listen, homie, disrespectfully, the last person I don't need you in my chat. I don't need you to, your comment, I'll leave it there. You get it? Because your comment just states a false narrative. And anybody that really knows me knows like that you're a hater. People see you and they be like, oh, this nigga's hating on War. War must have been catching wreck with him. Because they know I'm going to wreck you, right? But niggas that been locked up with me are going to say, boy, you lucky you was never around Warpath. Facts. I'll make you take off your fucking boxes, nigga, and walk outside like that, nigga, to the homo house. I'll send you to the homo house and let them eat you up. Facts. Yo, you been in the homo house, right? This guy, Farm, your name is Farm. Look, Farmhands. Yeah, you been in the homo house. Yo, check this out real quick.
Aramis first was found looking unwell in his cell by those guards. The DOE says he died shortly after being taken to a local hospital. Now, the medical emergency happened around 2 a.m. at the Otis Bantam Correctional Center on Sunday morning, according to the department. That's when the agency says medical staff and EMS arrived to provide aid. Now, he was pronounced dead at 3:15 this morning at Mount Sinai Queens Hospital. Now, there have been at least 14 in custody deaths in New York City this year. Another man, 38-year-old Edwin Ramos, died at Rikers Island just 3 weeks ago. The city is currently behind schedule on a plan to close Rikers Island and replace it with 4 new, smaller jails. A few years ago, the city passed a law to close the jail by 2027, something Mayor Eric Adams has said will not happen. Correction Commissioner Linnell McGinley.
You see, Eric Adams said it will not happen. The jail, Rikers Island, I remember when I was doing Rikers Island stories, everybody knows I'm the foundation, the nigga that started Rikers Island stories on the Lockout. And niggas was saying, yo, what you gonna do when they close Rikers Island? Well, bro, I don't just talk about Rikers Island. I set the whole Rikers Island story shit up. That's a fact. That's facts. But I changed my flow, homie, right? But we're gonna die and Rikers Island will still be open. And I've said that since they said they was gonna close it. Facts.
Liddy extended her condolences to First's family, and prison reform advocates with Catal Center for Equity, Health, and Justice are pushing for legislation to increase jail. And
I want to hear what he said.
The city is currently behind schedule on a plan to close Rikers Island and replace it with 4 new, smaller jails. A few years ago, the city passed a law to close the jail by 2027, something Mayor Eric Adams has said will not happen. Correction Commissioner Linnell McGinley Liddy extended her condolences to First's family, and prison reform advocates with Catal Center for Equity, Health, and Justice are pushing for legislation to increase jail and prison oversight.
Yeah, she said an increased jail. Yeah, but that shit ain't closing. She kind of sort of said the same shit. It's not closing, bro. Facts.
Now, in connection with a murder, Maurice Stubbs is accused of shooting a man during an argument, and his brother Marquise is accused of bashing another man in the mouth with a gun.
Both are now in the Orange County Jail, and that's where West 2's Michelle Meredith is live right now. Michelle, what do we know about this case?
Well, according to investigators, it started when the twins got into an argument with 2 men who lived in the same apartment complex, and it ended seemingly when one twin turned against the other.
Well, I live in New York City, bro, in Brooklyn. Facts. That's a fact. I don't lie, nigga. Like these niggas, you heard? New York City, and then none of them live in New York City, bro. I hate these niggas that make videos and be like, New York City. Nigga, they do not live where we live at, bro. That's a whole fact.
For aggravated battery.
It's not very often identical twins are arrested in connection with a murder.
Pursuant to the warrant, charges second-degree murder with a firearm.
But such is the case with twin brothers Maurice and Marquise Stubbs. Investigators say it started at the Beverly and Lakeside Apartments in Orlando off the Orange Blossom Trail. 2 men who were roommates came home and found their apartment ransacked, and the twins were their neighbors. One of the roommates, Vincent Sinclair, could be heard saying, "Did you break into my crib?" Allegedly, Maurice had a gun. Sinclair told him to put it down and fight him. Instead, say investigators, Maurice shot Sinclair. He died at the hospital. Meanwhile, according to the arrest affidavit, his twin brother, Marquise, was busy fighting, scuffling with the other roommate, and allegedly used his gun to hit the man in the face so hard he knocked out the gold dental jewelry from the bottom of his teeth and out of his mouth. Deputies say the twins took off and were found in different places, and in an ironic twist, Marquise identified his own twin brother as the shooter. Both landed in the Orange County Jail, Maurice facing the more serious charge of second-degree murder,
I'll set the bond at $7,500.
and his twin brother dealing with the lesser charge of aggravated battery. Marquise has an opportunity to bond out of jail, a privilege his twin brother does not.
Why?
Now, even though Marquise has a $7,500 bond, he has not posted that bond, so he is still here in the Orange County Jail.
Oh, shit. But he gotta do what he gotta do. But your brothers, they twins, they don't even look the same, right? Let's see these cats. They don't, do they? Nah, I could tell, bro.
Twins are arrested.
I could tell which one is which, bro. That's a fact. They look a little something alike, but one is lighter than the other, bro. Facts. Son right here is lighter than this dude. It's obvious. And one is taller than the other, bro. That's a fact. So all that identical twin shit, nah. Just if I was to hang out around them and I see them in the street just by their hair, I could tell which is which. Like, this is Kevin, this is Ralphie. Facts. Just by their hair is different, bro. It looks the same to like a person that's not that bright. But if you look at them, I could just look at their hair and be like, yo, stop playing, Kev, before I punch in your head. And they look a little something different, and they're identical twins. I don't see them identical. Facts. I don't. You could just see the difference here in a picture. In the video. Can you tell the difference? I could tell the difference, bro. I guess some of us is dumber than others.
In a connection with a murder.
Pursuant to the warrant.
But one of them bodied somebody. And they both locked up. Was it one?
Charges second-degree murder with a firearm.
The fucking lawyer looks more like him. Second-degree murder with a firearm.
But such is the case with twins.
Look at it. They look super different, bro. Identical twins. Facts. I told you their hair is different, bro. And in the face, they don't look like identical twins, bro. And they're identical twins. Maybe from a little distance, if they wear the same clothes, you'd be like, these niggas is cousins or something. But they don't look like the same guy, bro. Facts. They don't look like they look like identical twins to you. They don't look like identical twins to me. They look like something like twins, or that's his cousin or something. But they don't look like identical. Facts. I got family that's identical, and they look identically the same. Identical means you look exactly like him. These niggas don't look exactly like each other. Their color's different and everything. Facts. Well, I'm bugging out. I'm bugging out, Julio? Who thinks I'm bugging out? They don't look nothing identical, bro. They look like kind of sort of twins, but not identical, bro. Facts. Yeah, you're right, Johnny. You're right, Charlie. Hundreds. I'm gonna give you 1,300. Bing this. Check it out. Next up, Rikers Island. We're gonna talk some more about it. Bing, check this out.
A humanitarian crisis on
Bro, they fucked up with the audio. This
Rikers
shit.
Island. The Department of Correction confirming 27-year-old Deshaun Jenkins died while in custody Monday night. According to court documents, Jenkins was charged with burglary and criminal possession of stolen property in Queens last summer. He was locked up since July. The Legal Aid Society calling his death a stark reminder of the ongoing human rights crisis unfolding at Rikers Island.
Bro, listen. A lot of these dudes at Rikers Island, they've been a lot of people dying, over 13 people. They're not dying because of the police, bro. Respectfully, those white dudes, a lot of white dudes have died and all that. They're dying because of the gangs on Rikers Island. The Bloods, the Crips, they pressure these people. And these people don't want to be around the gangs. They can't believe they're locked up around it. Like, you never felt pressure? Like, you're gonna be pressured when you go to Rikers Island. If you're not about it, nigga, don't get locked up. You get it? Because you're gonna commit suicide. Believe me. Facts. You're gonna kill yourself. I promise you. You get it? But I love... if it comes to going upstate or staying on Rikers Island, I'm a nigga that I fought to stay on Rikers Island, B. 20-something months... 3 years, 4 years, I'm trying to stay on Rikers Island the longest I can. Facts. Respectfully. But if you can't hold weight like Warpath, then don't go to Rikers Island. Don't do crime.
Fox 35 investigates a shooting death at a federal prison in Central Florida. An inmate at USP Coleman died in October, but the prison hasn't released any details.
And it's been 2 months now, and the family still does not have any answers. Fox 35's Marie Edinger is digging into what we know.
Me and him was really close whenever he was out.
A father mourning the death of his son.
You know, he has a...
Damn, he's mourning. His father looks like he's getting high, but
11-year-old sister.
Who am I, right?
She's never going to see him again.
A family heartbroken. 33-year-old Dwayne Toddleben will not be coming back to Illinois after serving his prison sentence at U.S. Penitentiary Coleman 1, a high-security men's prison in Sumter County.
He only had 8.5 years left. It wasn't like he was going to be in there for life.
Toddleben was serving 15 years for possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute. He was arrested in August of 2020 during a traffic stop in St. Louis, Missouri.
He was not a bad person. He wasn't.
He wasn't a bad bird, his father said, but...
He just lost his ways all.
But in October, Toddleben was shot behind the walls of Coleman.
He was shot while in the jail, nigga. You ever thought about going to jail and being shot? Bang! Yo, how your son died? How did he die? He was shot. How? He's in jail. Yeah, all the jails in New York State carry semi-automatic weapons. Facts. I've been seeing guns. Listen, I seen guns in HDM, in the Beacon, in the 90's, nigga. I've been going to prison and jail since the 90's, 80's, and all that. Facts. I just slowed up with talking about Rikers Island and all that shit. But that's my wave, nigga. Whoever knows me, knows me. Facts. But, there's always been guns on Rikers Island, bro. Respectfully.
The Sumter County Medical Examiner tells Fox 35 Toddleben was taken to UF Health Leesburg in Lake County, and that's where he died.
That was HDM. I was in 1A and 1B. I was in the wildest sections of HDM. The one time they let us out to the mess hall is when I got it popping, when they jumped my little man. I can't say my little man because he wasn't my friend like that, but they jumped that nigga Warrior, and I got in and took the kids, the two blood niggas. I pounded them out. Ping, ping, ping. Got him up off of Warrior. I guess he did his thing after that, boo. And then they put me in the bullpens. And I went in the bullpens where the blood niggas was at. I was like, put me in that pen. Me and little Chino. And they were like, yo, we respect you. They had no choice but to respect it, nigga. I popped on you. And their leader, Dizzy, grabbed him. Bing. Because Dizzy was in my house. I was in 1B. And Dizzy was with me in 1B. Facts. Shout out to Dizzy. Dizzy was a good dude. Facts.
Database for federal inmates lists his death as happening October 11th. The medical examiner confirms a shooting resulted in his death.
As a matter of fact, this is what happened with Dizzy last. Look. Let me see if I find that shit. I was like, holy snap. Dizzy, blood gang member. Nah, hold up. Oh yeah, this is what happened with him. While he was in jail, they found but Dizzy I think he been had life. While he was with me, he had mad time. Gang leader behind the wall fakes kidnapping and gets life. All right, but this is something else. But he did some dramatic shit. I'm gonna show you.
He should have life.
This dude, he's the one that was locked. He was locked up right next to me. This is my cell, bing, with the TV right in front of me, and 1B. I got the cell with the TV. If you go to 1B, you gotta pass, the front. That's where the COs is at. Then your gate closes. Then you pass the phone. Then it's then it's the bathroom. Then it's cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. It's not that many cells. So it goes to the gate. And then is the back, CMC status. That's where Dizzy was at. Even when I was in 1B, he stayed in CMC. So he went this way. I went in through here. He went. It's so stupid. The only thing separating us is the gate. He could still give me the pound. He could pass me anything, all that. But he walks over this way, and there's 3 or 4 cells back there. He goes into that cell. So he locks in right here, pop. And right here is my cell. I see the TV and he sees the TV. Facts. Dizzy was a good dude, but this is Dizzy.
Life plus 7 years. That is a sentence which guarantees that Kelvin Melton will not be getting out of prison in his lifetime. And because of the vicious nature of the crime, because of his past criminal record, the Supermax prison in Colorado was the natural choice.
The facts of this case show that Kelvin Melton will attempt to commit crimes wherever he is, so he must be in a facility where that is not possible.
Kevin Melton was convicted by a federal jury of devising a kidnapping plot in 2014 aimed at Wake County Assistant DA Colleen Jansen, who had put...
You see, 2014, bro. In 2014, he was still locked up, bro. And he was with me in HDM in the 90's, bro. Facts. If I'm not mistaken, I was in HDM, but I was in 1B. Yeah, it was the 90's, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was the 90's, bro. It was the 90's. It was the 90's. I didn't keep up with years and all types. I've been to Rikers Island so many times, homie. I promise you that it's crazy. But yeah, it was the 90's because I'm going to tell you right now, because Warrior, where that fight happened with Warrior, yeah, I think it was. It was like 90, 96, 95 around there. Facts. And probably before that. Facts. Sunshine was with me, the blood Sunshine, that light-skinned blood that you seen real brief. He made YouTube videos real quick. He wasn't much on YouTube. But Sunshine, when he was skinny and young. He got it popping too. He was in my house. Facts. Sunshine, word. But Dizzy was with me. He was in the pen right next to me in 1B. Facts. So I'm like, damn, son. And you know what? Since that last time that I did that bid and hit HDM, right? I done so many state bids, Rikers Island bids after that, and Dizzy still locked up, bro. Facts.
Him in this jail. The 51-year-old was accused of using a cell phone from jail to orchestrate the crime, but the kidnappers went to the wrong address and grabbed Jansen's father, Frank, by mistake. The gang members then took Jansen to Atlanta, where he was held and tortured over a 5-day period. Among the abuses, documents show that he was pistol whipped by kidnappers, who also used a stun gun on him dozens of times. He was eventually rescued by the FBI hours before the kidnappers were about to kill him. It was a case which sent shockwaves through the local law enforcement community.
It's a chilling thing when someone who has dedicated their life to public service, to serving the public and prosecution of crimes, is victimized and they're...
Yo, not for nothing, But I always knew that Dizzy, he had it in him to do some wild shit, right? But I can't believe that he took his power out there. Well, I don't know, what that dude did to him. I could say this, he gave him time. So I see Dizzy getting at you like you gave him time. I'm gonna make sure I get you. But still in all, right? I was locked up with this dude right here. It don't matter if, listen, he put hits out on a lot of niggas. Blood niggas, king niggas, everybody had beef with him, right? But here's one thing I could say, bro. That you're gonna run into king niggas, nieta niggas, all types of niggas that are gonna tell you Dizzy's a good dude, like me, right? So don't be mad at me if Dizzy did something to you. I know when I was with Dizzy, he kept it 100. Facts. 100. And he landed in my house in 1B and HDM at a time when the king nigga, it started getting more packed with kings, right? Because the COs knew you could put kings down here. Because I was living down there, and any king that came in, he was going to live. So it got flooded with kings at one time. Boom. And they bring, what was that nigga's name? Not Menudo. Yeah, Menudo. Yeah, that was his name, Menudo. They bring Menudo, and Menudo was like, yo no quiero saber nada de ese cabrón. And I'm like, who? He's like, el prieto ese, that blood nigga. And Dizzy was like, yo, keep that nigga away from me, boy. I said, why? And Dizzy told me that Menudo grabbed him by the braids and was smacking fire out of him. Blang, blang, blang. He said, yo, that nigga grabbed me by my braids and smacked the shit out of me through the whole corridor, bro. I'ma kill that nigga. But Dizzy was still talking sideways. You get it? But respectfully laughing and all that. Like, yo, keep that nigga away from me, boy. I'ma kill that nigga. Menudo was laughing at him. Menudo was like, boy, I'ma body you. They arguing, boo. And I'm like, yo, y'all chill the fuck out, B. Because you see me, I'm a real right nigga. Like, I'm not gonna let you, even though I know Menudo, I've been bitten with Menudo, I've been in the street with King Menudo. You get it? We did a lot of shit together, and I understand he's a real right bro. He's my bro. I love him. I'm a bang for him. Menudo, he's the one that got locked up in Staten Island with the 2 guns up like this, and he had the baby in the middle. And then they put it like if he had guns around the baby, the news made it to be something that they wanted it to be. So that's who Menudo is. So, boom. After Menudo explained to me that situation with the baby, I understood it. It got cleared. He was living all over Rikers Island. Nobody did anything to him. Not that they didn't want to, not that they wasn't a hit. Just niggas was not ready. They didn't dare. I promise you, I was there, bro, with King Menudo. None of these niggas dared do nothing to King Menudo. Facts. He didn't even know English at the time when he was with me. I understand. He learned English. Now he knows full English. He didn't know English in the 90s. I promise you. So after we did a bid together, we wind up in the street together too. Word. Facts. Getting bread and all that. Son blew up hard. But he's the type of nigga, he would blow up and then fall off hard body. Like, damn, for real, nigga? Menudo? I just saw him with thousands of dollars a car, and just the same way that you seen him up, you see him fucked up overnight, and you like, nah. Word. But shout out to him, bro. Hopefully he's still alive, that kid. But him and this blood nigga right here, they definitely got drama. Facts. And Dizzy. And Menudo got to put his hands on Dizzy. Grabbed him by the braids and was smacking him up throughout the whole hallway. Dizzy told me himself, like, yo, keep that nigga away from me. I'm gonna kill that nigga. I said, what happened, Dizzy? He said that nigga grabbed me by my braids and smacked me through the whole, had me hemmed up through my braids. I told him, cut that shit, nigga.
Family is victimized just because of that.
But I didn't want them to keep arguing because Dizzy was my guy, bro. You get it? And I've been living there with Dizzy, and then Menudo came. Boom. So I'm not going to switch up just because you blood. Yo, I can't talk to you now. My bros ain't here. That's a pussy, nigga. If you do that, you pussy, nigga. I don't do that. So I was like, nah, you're not doing that to me. I told Menudo, yo, I'm sorry to tell you, bro, but son is mad cool, Menudo. Yo, I'm not fucking with him. Alright, so don't fuck with him. You don't fuck with him. But don't be beefing at him and throwing shit at him when he walk by and all that. That's crazy, bro. He was like, alright. So he left it alone. It wasn't like they seen each other a whole lot because Dizzy walked through the thing, and then he went with the CO, right? But then we went to the mess hall, and Dizzy would walk with us in the line, but he stayed in the back of the line. And I just kept Menudo in the front. I kept them away from each other. I did that. I really did that for me, right? Not for Dizzy, not for Menudo, for nobody, right? And for me to understand, I'm a real nigga, bro. If I fuck with Dizzy and Menudo's, you just got here, bro. Menudo get packed up in 2 seconds. And I stayed living with Dizzy. And Dizzy didn't do nothing to me. I don't know what happened with y'all niggas. You get it? So that's the type of vibe it was. This is in the early 90s, bro. In HDM. Facts. 1B.
Melton's attorney says he wasn't surprised at that sentence, given the nature of the crime and the victims involved.
What was his reaction when the judge finally imposed sentence?
I think he was resigned to the fact that it would be a very serious and long sentence.
All during his trial, Melton denied that he was involved in what he called a stupid scheme, but he did tell his lawyer today he felt sorry for Frank Jensen.
The signs of remorse primarily have to do with Mr. Jansen and the type of behavior that he received. I don't think that anyone relishes in the type of behavior that went on at the hands of the co-defendants while we're in Atlanta.
So they killed that dude, right? And apparently, because of Dizzy's gonna be in the box like forever, bro. Facts. Because he putting out hits on people from being incarcerated. I knew that that was gonna happen to Dizzy, bro. You get it? Dizzy's the type of dude. The last time I seen Dizzy loose, like in population and all that, was like in 93. In the early 90s, in HDM. Facts. And he was loose, and he was already locked down because we was in the box. I'm in 1B, but I'm not telling. 1B is the box in HDM. It's like a pre-Bing. They got the pre and they got the Bing. Facts. So I'm down there in the last cell. My cell was the last cell. Then there's a few more cells with a gate, pop. And that's where Dizzy was at. Like the one you close, and then there's 4 CMC. Even though I'm leaving out the story, I wind up going back there anyway. You get it? It's a long story. I went from the pre-Bing right here, pop, in 1B, and then there's a gate. Once you in the gate, you in CMC. You locked down. Dizzy was back there by himself, but he could talk to me because my cell was the last cell that reaches his cell before CMC starts. That's the way they did 1B in HDM. Respectfully, you can ask anybody that's been there. Facts. And I got that story up. I have a video, Rikers Island HDM. Respectfully, look, let me see if I find it for you. Look. Rikers Island HDM. Look, I think I got 1B or 1A, I think I put on it. Watch. Niggas started doing that after I made this video. Facts. I think it's 1A or 1B that I have on it. You know, this nigga's gonna come up, Rikers Island, Mac Mean, because that's when I gave him that page. You know, when I taught him how to do YouTube. That's what I mean. This nigga, 2 years ago. But YouTube wanna put my shits all the way at the bottom now. But I think mine will come up. If not, I'm gonna go to the thing. Or do I have it blocked? Nah, I don't have it blocked. I'm trying to think what the title to it is. Oh, I could just look it up like this. I'm bugging. But I'm looking for the HDM story, bro. Hold on. That's not it. Rikers Island prison gangs on the yard, true story. That's my video too, but not that one. It's coming up. It's not this one either. Rikers Island Correctional Facility, New York City Jail is not that one either. Look at me right there, que lindo. Oh, I got off of this? Hold on, I'll be back. Let me find this thing. Oh, I think it's coming up. This is mine too. American Jails, Rikers Island Correctional Facility, Bullpen Therapy. That's not it. But it's here, definitely. This is 5 years ago. I'm everywhere, like swimwear. But let me find that thing for you. This is me again right there. I'm all over. But Rikers Island, when they got me for my money. Alright, check this out. Rikers Island, inmates fight over chicken, true story. Damn, how long ago I did that? 4 years ago. Bloods gang versus Latin Kings at Rikers Island. 5 years ago I did that. Facts. Rikers Island workers and inmates charged in smuggling scam 5 years ago. Look, New York City Bloods gang, CRIPS, Latin Kings, Rikers Island, true story 2 weeks ago. You notice the difference? 2 weeks and then 6 years. Look at this one. Prison and jail, Rikers Island, never glorifying it. On the lockout, live. Who's locking out? 6 years. You get what I'm saying, my nigga? This shit says 6 years ago. Facts. 6 years ago. Facts. I never look at them videos, but that shit says 6 years ago, bro. Streamed 6 years ago. That's crazy. Look at this one. Rikers Island prisons don't impress me. On the lockout 6 years ago, bro. I've been talking. I started Rikers Island stories. Facts. Look. CRIPS gangs members beat up by Bloods at Rikers Island Correctional Facility. That one was 4 years ago. Facts. I interviewed homeboy. This is me 6 years ago. 20,000 views. Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Spanish guy cut in the face. Oh, this is the story. With Gambino, I'm telling the story. He got cut over the chair. Facts. I tell that story while I'm walking. Facts. Look at right here. Thinking of Lockout fam, not Rikers Island, as I travel in New York 6 years ago, my nigga. Facts. Rikers Island inmates was shook. True story. 3 years ago. I started that Rikers Island story shit, nigga. Respectfully. Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Then state prison. My first time. 6 years ago, my nigga. Respectfully. Look, Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Look, gang wars at Rikers Island. Facts. Look, Rikers Island prison gangs on the lockout. Look, Rikers Island stories. Who started that wave? True story. Me, of course. Go listen to this. But look, 5 years ago, nigga, Rikers Island. Look, Rikers Island 6 years ago, bro. Look, Rikers Island again. All my titles was Rikers Island, nigga. That's a fact. That's what was popping. Rikers Island in the 90s. True story about Bloods, Kings, and Nietas. Facts. Look, Rikers Island stories. The most dangerous, notorious jail in New York. Nigga, I been turned it up with Rikers Island. Look, 6 years ago, Rikers Island inmates tried to end it. Look, bro. You kidding me? But this is where it gets good. Rikers Island gang members cut his insides with a razor blade. True story. Damn, where's that thing about? Oh, I think it's coming up. Look, Rikers Island story 6 years ago. You gotta check them stories out. This is a lethal. I'm trying to find this video. It's coming up. That's dangerous. It wasn't this video. It wasn't this video. How it popped off on Rikers Island. That's a nigga that was making shorts videos of me on the Lockout fan page. That's not my fan page. That's another nigga, a bird nigga. I don't know. He did that shit. Then we stopped talking because he's down with what you call that he's down with I forgot what you call that online shit. Anyway, bro. He's down with some online shit that I'm not with. I don't rock the FBA type shit, but the corny niggas, I don't fuck with that. This is me, Rikers Island, prison, physical violence. My whole shit is about Rikers Island, bro. Look at me again. Rikers Island stories, Latin Kings and Bloods, the war in the 90s, nigga. Facts. I'm interviewing niggas and all that. But 90% these, like him, I know him. These niggas, I know. I be with these niggas in the hood. Facts. There's not a nigga I met on the internet and I interviewed them. Facts. Rikers Island, Latin Kings cut off. I'm trying to find that HDM story. Rikers Island, again, all my shit, nigga. I'm the Rikers Island king. Facts, 6 years ago. Facts. You hear this airplane noise all day at Rikers Island. Lockout gang, we family here. Remember when I used to post that? I'm gonna do that again. Facts, that's me right there. Bing. Look, 4 years. Inmates at Rikers Island. All my shit is titled Rikers Island, nigga. Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Facts. Look, right, that's me. All these videos is me, nigga. Me. On the logout. Rikers Island. Get beat up over the phones. Facts. Right now, if I was lying about Rikers Island, don't you think somebody would have made videos about me already? This nigga is lying. You know how much I talked about Rikers Island, nigga? I don't need to lie, nigga. I'm the realest nigga you ever gonna meet in your life. Look, 6 years ago, Rikers Island Correctional Facility, guy who gave me my name. He just died. Rest in peace to him. So let's check this out. First time seeing someone get cut at Rikers Island. I put the razors and all that for you there. You heard? CRIPS gang members at Rikers Island who had inmates shook. True story. Look at the CRIPS. I put the CRIPS in there. 5 years ago, prison gang, New York. It used to say Rikers Island. I changed it. I don't know why. But look, Crips gang at Rikers Island. Tensions rise among themselves and correction officers. Look, 6 years ago, live. Rikers Island stories. Streets led to jail, prison, and institutions. Facts. I never lie, my nigga. I'm looking for that HDM fucking video, bro. Why doesn't it give it to me? Look, Rikers Island 6 years ago. Correctional facility. How it is in the winter. Bing. That's a live stream. Outside. Look at your boy War. Ha ha ha. With my beautiful hair, boy. Bing. Look at that pretty boy. Ha ha. Facts. Oh shit. Rikers Island. The views in the thousands. All my shit's 11,000, 12,000. Rikers Island Correctional Facility. This is a funny shorts. This when this Burr nigga got locked up. Wanted suspect was with me at Rikers Island. This shit had me mad. I made that video about him. One of my dudes got locked up for doing foul shit to I guess a lady or somebody. I know he got life, bro. He's a dick. He's a dick. Look, Rikers Island. Bro, I was always putting up Rikers Island, right, for years, bro. Facts. 6 years ago. All my shits got thousands of views. Look, Bloods gang members see co-defender at Rikers Island. True story. Look, bing. They break it down. Bing. The breakdown. He's not Puerto Rican. Boom. So I guess YouTube was doing that thing on, because I didn't put that in my I think the thing was not like that broken down. Did I? Nah. They did that. 15 chapters. They did that. They did that 15 chapter shit. People don't know you. Oh, I did. I don't know. Smart Street. I know I wouldn't put no Smart Street. Watch your surroundings. That's a fact. They did that shit. You see? 15 auto-generated. You see? Auto-generated chapters in this video. Auto-generated. That's when they was doing that new YouTube shit. Rikers Island, Asians ran the phones in C-74 in the 90s. That's a fact. The Asians ran the phone. Don't let none of these niggas tell you any different, nigga. The Asians, Chinos had the phone. I got a phone from them, though, I'll tell you that much. I took one of their jacks. Facts. Go listen to that story. That's amazing. Look, I talked about Bimmy 6 years ago. That's crazy. Rikers Island C-95, what they called it. Facts. Rikers Island Bloods versus Crips. Rikers Island EBT. Rikers Island inmates make hip hop video. Warpath reacts. Damn, I'm looking for this fucking video, bro. These are all my videos, bro. Rikers Island, Rikers Island. Look, Rikers Island, Bloods gang, Crips, Disciples, blah, blah, blah. Look, Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings at Rikers Island Correctional Facility. I turned it up. I mashed that shit. Facts. I twisted Rikers Island. The first one to ever do it. Rikers Island inmates 4 years ago. Facts. Look, Rikers Island when rumors get spread across the jail. True story. Niggas wasn't doing it like that. You heard? Facts. 6 years ago. I did this video 6 years ago, bro. That's crazy. Word. Damn, I don't know why I can't find that one video that's mad important. When I talked about this warden, niggas was saying I was lying when I talked about Deb Bailey, and then he went on Queen's Flip and told the same story that I've been telling. Facts. I remember when I had beef with this kid, then he died. You know what? You never want to diss nobody because, right? Everybody that knows me knows I've said it. I've tried every drug in the world. Right? Probably. And this kid went and behind our back, he was trying to diss people on YouTube and he was getting high and he died while we was going at each other. Facts. This kid right here, the one talking to Lockdown 23 and 1. That's a fact. He OD'd if I'm not mistaken. Yo, anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow, bro. Hopefully y'all had a good time. Stay up, bro. Bing. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's getting bored. I can't find that video. I wanted to find it too. But why this shit says 0, bro? And it's not at 0. The bit rate. Are you bugging? Hold on. You see, it's fixed there. All right, let me see if I fixed. Yeah, he died, bro. I'm on lockdown 23 and 1 too, but I went to lockdown 23 and 1. I made sure that I made my own. I had over 15,000 subscribers and all that. Like I didn't need him. You get it? And he knew that. Look, Rikers Island Correctional for 6 years ago. That's me again. Look, me again, 6 years ago. Bloods gang member, Rikers Island. Look, me again. Nigga, I don't be lying, nigga. I made that shit pop. 5 years ago, Rikers Island Correctional Facility. I made that shit pop. Facts. Look. This is me again. Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Bloods versus Latin Kings. Facts. I'll never lie to you, bro. Look at how long ago this story is, bro. Look. Then everybody else caught motion and they tried to do the Rikers Island thing. We was the first to put it on the map, bro. Hard body. I promise you. But check this out. You could go watch these videos right here. This is a pretty good video for you to go catch on the lockout. This is a good one too. But I like this. The older one. Is this it? I think so. Gonna give an ad. I knew it. I don't want to see the ad, bro. You already know what this E is. E is. What up? Oh, this is just me. There's no visual. There's no visual. That was an audio. And it still got. I still got paid for that shit. I still do till date. But look, 6 years ago. I'm born and raised on a street called 44th Street and 4th Avenue, 444 Sunset Park. That's in Brooklyn, New York. Facts. By the way, rest in peace, my best friend, Aloe. Y'all ready? Show. This is the part where we come with the story. So check this out. We on Rikers Island, C-74. My boy's name is G-Rock. Like, not for nothing, it was better when it was that way. Although a lot of people were getting hurt times 3, but people are still getting hurt now. Gang, that shit is a movie, bro. Check this out.
I'm your host, Lou, joined with my good friend, Chris.
Yes, sir.
And it's all about Rikers Island today, Chris.
Rikers what?
Rikers Island.
The Rock? That's what I call it. That's what I call it. I go back to the 80s. The Rock.
This is part 2 of Rikers Island Chronicles with our special guest, Warpath. Guerra's in the building. And so this is part 2. If you didn't catch us last week, we got Warpath here early. He's going to share some stories with us. He's going to talk about his podcast. He's going to talk about a possible book deal coming out, movies, you name it. Guerra got it. Welcome back, Papo, and thank you for coming back second time. Really appreciate it. And I want to special thanks to your lady. Thank you for helping us out.
Yes,
Steve, you better get your ass to work, Steve.
No, Steve's about to lose his job.
Whatever, like, that's my people in there. It's like a different feeling when you go through it. I know it may seem childish to some people. If you never experienced it, then it's crazy. It's another world, bro. It's another world.
I don't think it's childish. I just think it's the mentality behind it is just, this is my situation. This is how I feel. So, and what you don't have another option.
Right, you gotta do it.
Exactly. Either I crawl up in a corner and let's, whatever, or this is I'm back home,
Facts.
But War, I mean, not to delve too deep into your personal life, but did you grow up with a big family, or there was a small family? What was your situation? Because I could see somebody, if you're getting that love, maybe because there was a void, the family wasn't there, but your friends or your extension or your gang, that's your family. So when you see them, you get that feeling of, you know what, I'm welcome, I'm part of something. Was it one of those things for you, or you grew up with a big family and it was just that was your bros?
Nah, I actually always had my family, and like they was always there for me. Like I had a cool pops.
Okay.
Like they was cool. Like regular upbringing on 44th Street and 4th Avenue, Sunset Park, right? But still, you're looking for something else. I never looked, and it was never brought to me that the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation was a gang. So I didn't grow up in it thinking that it was a gang. I've never in my life looked at it as a gang. Okay. Of course, the media and other people that are not involved and know nothing about it, and what you see on the news happening, but they shot 3 people. Yeah, but somebody got smacked, bro, or whatever, right? Like. So, and of course, you got bad apples and everything that make things happen. But I up till today, in 2022, I don't consider what I was involved in a gang. And that's why I always say I never joined a gang. I've never been in a gang, and I'm not in a gang.
Gotcha.
Because it was brought to me as a nation, an upliftment of the people. And when I'm doing the right things in life, like today, I try to carry it for what it is. Because even though I may not be involved in every activity, right? And if I was, I wouldn't be saying it here anyway, right? On the radio. But what I'm saying is it's something that's embedded in my heart, like for life. So I'm always gonna be king, beyond death. And that's just the way I feel. Something that's embedded me from young is the way I grew up. But yeah, I had my family. My mom's was there, my pops was there. But you look for something else. And it wasn't so much that I needed family or family love, because I always had a girl, or I always had my mom's, like she'll be like, I'm not gonna go see you in jail, but you'll call you VI and it's your mother. And I'm like, Ma, you can't keep coming up here like that, you heard? Like your little boy is not regular OB right now from 44th Street. They call him Warpath.
Guerra, mami,
Guerra in Spanish. So if they see me and they think you looking like my mother, it's gonna be like, this nigga's a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? So, all jokes aside, though, I had a pretty good life. And shout out to them. My pops passed away. He had his own problems, but alcohol played the role in it, if I'm not mistaken. It may seem like I don't because I'm having a drinky. I don't drink at all, period. In fact, alcohol is the #1 killing drug in the world, and it bothers me. And I met a lot of good people, bro. And I met people that told me to help out the channel. They was like, yo, bro, here's $5. But I always got to go back real quick. And I think that's a lot of our downfalls, right? And I always got to go back and see the people. And I don't know, it makes me, I don't know, I think it helps me stay young. I think it helps me with my, even if I'm stressed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the streets love nobody, and I understand that. So I don't play them. Before I was playing them 24/11. Now it's like 24/5 or 6. Right? So I try to stay away from that because I don't like to be a hypocrite. I don't like to be on my channel telling people how they should work on change. And even though it's about the message, not the messenger, but I don't like to be a hypocrite. Then they see me in the streets chasing somebody down the block or something. And it has happened, ironically, yeah. And a lot of crazy things happen.
But you have turned the negative into a positive,
of course,
because your channel, you're on the lockout.
Sure, of course, and yeah, and I feel it myself. As I told people, somebody said something about yo, you crying online, you a grown man, whatever the case may be, right? Like, bro, I changed right in front of the world's eyes. And
give me 1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You got to Rikers Island. You were already part of the Latin King family.
I was Latin King, but I wasn't officially crowned the right way as a king.
Okay.
I claimed king on my own. I did I don't know if you know the story of Blue Boy, and I said this before on my channel, so it's not like because he did it, I'm saying, because you know the trolls, hello. I said this a long time ago, and those that know the real know the real. So Latin Kings came out of my neighborhood. Somebody gave me the paperwork, my boy Keg. I was a kid. And he was like, yo, boom, here, but I don't know how he got it, but a lot of people was king, but they was like just starting up.
Okay.
Like, remember, a lot of people think I was just around the 90s. I was around in the 80s. I may look like a baby.
Wow.
But I was born in the 70s, in the early 70s.
Okay.
So they gave me the paperwork and I was jagging it. Like, I'm king.
Okay. So you go into, you wasn't.
But now I go to Rikers and I'm not. I'm the first time.
You keeping it to yourself?
I'm keeping it to myself.
What? Because you didn't want to be called out on anything?
No, it's numbers.
No. I just because at that time I didn't see beads. I didn't see band. There was no identification.
Got you.
You feel me?
You didn't want to jump out the window and be like, yo, I'm this.
I just thought this is a thing in our neighborhood.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay,
gotcha. You didn't know how big it was.
I didn't know how big it was or how it was getting. I didn't know the politics of it.
Gotcha.
So when I went to the jail, boom, I started seeing, and I say this with all respect, like people get it twisted, and it may sound cliche, but I say it all the time because of the misconception people get. Like, I got blacks in my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I got Dominican nieces and nephews. There's everything. My wife is from South America. Like, you feel me? So, there's not a racial nothing in my body. I don't see color. I see human beings. Exactly. If you're a good dude, you're a good dude. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
No matter where you're from.
Ironically, the majority of thugs and gangsters that thought they were gangsters running around on Rikers Island that time were black.
Gotcha.
Right? And the Spanish people that were coming in were getting enslaved. Right? And this is the truth. The real story. Facts. Fuck what you hear from all these liars and all that. This is the truth. So the story is the same. As I'm gonna get into that right now, but I always say that in my videos. In order to understand this video, you gotta watch it to the end, because sometimes people hear something and be like, oh, this dude is racist. And you didn't even hear the whole thing.
Gotcha.
You making judgment and commenting, and then they come back and be like, yo, I apologize, War. I heard the rest of it.
Yeah, they only hear one part of
you a Pepe. You a Pepe. You heard? You got loose fingers. You just got a new keyboard and you acting up. So, yeah. So I get there. It feels like blacks are controlling everything.
Okay.
It feels that way, right? And I tell the Spanish brother, like, yo, you're not calling now. Yo, don't touch that phone. That, what? You know, and this thing started to bother me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen, as time went on, I started going there, and I was already getting super thugged out. You become what you detest. The people you don't like, you become that.
So they weren't letting Spanish dudes.
Now, Spanish dudes wasn't rocking at all, period, when I was going through in the beginning, in the early 90s, 80s. Maybe a few, you had some that was rocking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, some was rocking, but not like a lot. Like when the Kings and Nietas came out, now they rocking. Now they rocking and rolling. You know? So, I said, son, it gotta be different, bro. So when, they stepped to me with the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation situation. It must have been like 91, 92. Like, this is a lot of years ago, bro. It's probably, 91, 92, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, this dude, Black, comes to me. A Puerto Rican dude, Black, though, right? And he's like, yo, my name is King Black. You ever heard about the like King's Boo? Because I was already a loose cannon in the house by myself.
Okay.
So they watching me. I'm like, why they always keep looking at me? But I didn't know. You know, this public information. You could Google it. The mayor even talked about it. I didn't know that they was observing me. You know, like to see if I could be. Now that I think about it, look at how much dudes want props. Still in all, that's in the early 90s. In the mid 90s, I went to MTF3 to the boat. Could you believe that another dude who was the first crown on the boat told me that whoever crowned me that time, that they did it wrong, and I have to do it again, Warpath? Word of my mother, bro. So I don't even tell no niggas. Yo, first of all, you want to know how much your name holds weight more than anything? My name has been King Warpath from the gate, right? I've never, only one time, and this was a long time ago, was I ever questioned about the nation. Only one time. And you know what happened that time when they questioned me about the nation? I caught drama. It popped. Ping, 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 ping. Because I got so mad that you would question me, nigga, that I disrespected the dude. Facts. But nobody has ever asked me nothing about the nation. Facts. But I guess that's a good thing because you know your name holds weight and niggas know who you are, right? But it don't matter, bro. I was raised, you need to question niggas and find out if they know their L's and all types of shit, nigga. Facts. I've been a king going on fucking 40, 50 years, nigga. Nigga never asked me nothing. Period. Nothing about this nation. Nothing. Facts. But I guess when I be like, yo, I'm on the rey, yo, King War, you get it? It pushes a nigga back like, oh shit, that's Warpath. You get it? So I understand that too. But homie, if I was king material, if I wasn't. Oh, wow. That's what they did back then. It was real militant. Not that it's not now, but it was really, really that. Facts. So when he stepped to me, boom, boom, whatever, he asked me. Most people, they don't take him they figure some people feel like, oh, we don't ask people to be king. Like, you got to go to them and be like, but that didn't happen to me. They asked me to be king, bro. You heard? So he broke the rules, I guess. Something, but I was asked. All right. So anyway, he asked me, boom. And I was like, they was doing the most dirt. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, they were renegades. So when the blood started coming up, and I'm not saying all of them are like that. Understand what I'm saying? There's the majority, and everything. The majority are like that. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. I say all that to say the Latin Kings and the Bloods was something, bro, that people will never forget in their life. Well, I said the majority. Nah, but it comes from both. It's right what I said there. Both do dirt, bro. but it's easy to blame each other. Yo, it's not me, it's the Bloods. Or it's not me, it was the Kings. Niggas want to blame each other always. But if you really come to the analyzation, to me, because I've been around a lot of Bloods, people, like, we could all talk about the beefs when I was there. I'm telling my story right there. I was there. I was in 1A, 1B. I was with Livewire since the early 90s, since this shit started. When there was no Bloods, I was on the island. Facts. It was Smokes. Facts. I'll never forget. It was Smokes. The beacon was full of Smokes. And Ungambino was in my house. Well, I'm be respectful and say I was in Ungambino's house because he was there before me. Facts. Me and him, he got attached to me. Pop. Because he's like, Shorty's a problem. Facts. But, I think if I'm not mistaken, he cut a dude the first day I was there. Pop. He blew the Spanish nigga, and niggas looked at me like, oh shit, you gonna let him cut him? Bro, I don't control him. You get it? Like, what the fuck, nigga? I hate that because I was getting a lot of blame. You gotta understand, I was getting a lot of blame. So it's like, I'm a king, nigga. But everybody look at me like a blood nigga. Respectfully, I'm gonna keep it real. You get it? And that's why I fell back from this Rikers Island story shit on Rikers Island on here. And that's why I started saying some of my stories like, yo, you know why? When we beat up the Bloods, blah, 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 I had to start talking like that, bro. I had to. You get it? I had to. Not because none of these niggas were gonna do nothing to me out here. I'm in New York City. Whoever knows, knows. But, and I'm never gonna live nowhere else, bro. I live in New York City. You get it? And the first nigga to tell Rikers Island prison stories was right here on the Lockout, bro. And I'm talking about say it back to back. I'm not talking about a nigga that just told his story and kept it moving or none of that. I'm talking about like a back to back, like it's a Rikers Island channel. Boom, 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 boom. Was on the Lockout, bro. And I've been doing this for over 6 years. I just showed y'all all the videos. And I say that because, all right, like it sounds cool to say Spanish people were oppressing us, right? The Latin kings were oppressing us. The Nietas were oppressing us. I never saw it as an oppression. I saw it as something that was needed. I saw it as y'all was getting too loose. You thought it was something sweet about Spanish dudes, and shit got crazy. Facts. Right? But respectfully, on a real note, I think that it was, and it's needed today. It's needed today more than ever. People may not see it this way, but if you look in the streets and what's going on in New York, these gangs are out of control, right?
Yep.
And even though the Nietas and the Kings did their own damage, it kept people in order. Facts. And I'm not trying to take credit. It still keeps people in order because I'm still king. We still out here, nigga. But it's just a lot of niggas not thinking the same, bro. For a lot of things. But there's a lot of abuse on Rikers Island right now. Like super abuse because we started being on something like, yo, that's none of our business. You know, and then the peace treaties came out with the Bloods and everything. And that's all fine and dandy. I'm more for that. But it bothers me too when people say the 5 came about. Let's remember, like that story I told you, the 5, we been had the 5 because I've been king since the beginning when kings first started, nigga. And I always rode the 5. Facts. The 5 has always been a king thing. So like for niggas that be like, yo, the kings the kings didn't get that from nobody. The 5 been a part of our nation since I became king, nigga. Facts. Say, oh, we just won that war, bro. Nobody won a war when people come to us and ask us, yo, maybe we should stop this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are getting hurt. Like That's the only thing that got me mad. Like a lot of these pussy blood niggas or any gang that you involved in, niggas be like, yo, y'all niggas, they signed a peace treaty. Like if we was copping out, nigga, I could tell you a million bloods I put in combers, niggas I twisted, and if you don't believe me, ask them niggas, the niggas I just showed you. But respectfully, I don't even talk about that shit, bro. Like I bring it up like whenever I feel like it, cause I don't let nobody tell me what to talk about on my channels, on my platforms, none of that, nigga. You done seen it. Every time I'm live or I make a video, I tell a nigga, eat a dick, nigga, in a heartbeat, boy. Facts, I'm outside. I live in New York City in real life, nigga. Facts, my name is King Warpath. The world knows me. You ask a nigga out here, yo, you know Warpath? I bet you he tell you, if he tell you no, you asking a nigga that don't really be outside. Cause everybody be outside. All these niggas be outside, nigga. You get it? And believe me, if he would have been outside, I would have seen them at one point or another, bro. Or I would have known niggas that know him. Facts. But you gotta pay attention, bro, because sometimes a person watches a video, and if you don't watch the whole video, you may take something, like if that individual is just dissing one group of people, right? Like a lot of times people used to tell me, oh, this nigga hates black people. Bro, I'm half black. That's how much you know. Facts. Facts. And I don't even say that a lot to a lot of people because it's none of your business, nigga. You don't know me. I don't know your faggot ass, nigga. You get it? Like 90%, I'm not going to say all, but 90% of cats that come and watch you on the tube, nigga, these niggas live in fucking Jupiter or wherever the fuck they live at. But there's a certain percentage that do live in New York, that be in most of my whole audience is from New York City. I can see, I follow my shit. You get it? All my other channels and all my other platforms, whoever knows. I'm on hundreds of platforms, bro. But, so I have an audience because I do gaming. I do other type of content. You get it? I don't talk about what I talk about here on them channels. You get it? I'm monetized. On all wherever I'm at, I'm monetized, but I don't play. I need my bread. Facts. Respectfully. Kings didn't go to nobody. The Bloods came to us and asked us like, yo, let's dead this. And we was, and we came to an agreement as grown men. That's a beautiful thing. So why would you try to change that story? Facts. That's a bitch shit. The people that try to change beautifulness of blacks and Hispanics are only people that their experience with the Hispanics and with the Latin Kings was real bad. They got a cut on their face. They got beat up. They try to go in a house, take a phone, and create havoc or sneak thief, because they were sneak thieving and got put through the washing machine real quick. And there's a fact. My stories, nigga, is a fact, nigga. That's why it bothers some people that are not real right with it. It bothers them because they know I'm saying the facts, nigga. You get it? So the whole main beef type shit, it wasn't even with that shit that happened with that little situation with the dog food that niggas be like, yo, that's how it started with this nigga and that. Bro, who cares? You had a fight there. That's not. But after that, it kept on. Like because anybody that know me know I've been around a lot of blood niggas. And niggas had a saying. They were like, yo, Warpath is blood. Niggas label me. They thought I was blood, nigga. I'm ready to go outside, fight with my niggas in the yard. Like, what up, nigga? And then the niggas that's there, ready to hold me down, is blood niggas. I'm like, yo, what up? They're like, yo, I got you. So I'm like, nah, nigga, chill. You get it? But the fact is that the Bloods were doing the most stealing, the most abusing out of every gang on Rikers Island, up north, and all that. That's all I'm saying. And I'm always going to say that fact. Are there good Bloods? Of course there's good Bloods. There's good and bad people and everything. But the Bloods were the number one stealing niggas, robbing niggas. You couldn't buy nothing in commissary. Not me, nigga, because I'll pay a Blood if he takes something from me. Boy, you crazy? I'll hem him the fuck up. Anybody, nigga. I've never been robbed in my life. I do the robbing. I live in New York City and Brooklyn. Ask anybody. Ask anybody, nigga. till date, you can ask somebody, yo, how Warpath be getting it? And they'll tell you, facts. But I tell you one thing, bro. When I went to Rikers Island, and I've been locked up over 20-something times, bro. I have over 19 convictions, respectfully. That whole beef with the blood shit and the Kings and the Nietas was the Bloods was stealing, nigga. They wanted to rob everybody and anybody, nigga, respectfully. So the peoples ain't having that. Now I know I'm not having that. You get it? So just me being there. And I told you I come from a family, my family's black and Spanish. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You not robbing nobody. The same way you not robbing him, I'm not gonna let no Spanish niggas come in and rob a Moreno. You get it? You're not just gonna be robbing niggas here, just, yo, what up? Take that off. Nah, nigga, we not. But, still in all, I'm not gonna say I never done it. You get it? Because you gotta understand, like, I've done it to people, right? But that was a time that I was wilding. And then when I got on my positive shit, it was like, yo, it's wrong. You get it? So I was doing wrong too. I'm not trying to say all that. Because the nigga might be watching that was with me on the island or whatever. Some was robbing everybody. Yeah. But after a certain time, when I started to grow up and say, yo, this shit is wrong, I did that with everybody. Facts. So it was like a two sides of a nigga. That's a fact. Mad, and now because the internet is out, you think it's your time. So now I'm a doodle on these dudes because I'm still tight. You feel me? And they not that deep on the internet because they don't. Look, I'm talking about the internet. Remember when it first happened, when the Bloods came on and they started talking shit and all that? So I say that, look. And got put through the washing machine real quick, and you mad. And now because the internet is out, you think it's your time. So now I'm a doodle on these dudes because I'm still tight. You feel me? And they not that deep on the internet because they don't play media like that right now. I feel those rules got to change. I'm talking about the rules got to change for kings. Because you being a king, you can't really be on the media like that. You get it? And that's when I stated, this was years ago. What I said there is those rules need to change, bro. You get it? Because if social media is a thing of today, how you just gonna tell your people, yo, you can't be on social media? You feel me? It's just wrong. So I make my own rules. I do what I want. So I always just dip me. Pop. You get it? And I live in New York City in real time. Facts. In the boroughs. What you said, New York City Bloods ain't even real Bloods? I don't know, bro. I don't know about them not being real Bloods. They blood, though. How you gonna say they're not blood? You gonna say that respectfully? You live in another state or something, homie? I'm looking at the chat now. I wasn't looking at it before. Who's that? Bad vibes. I was there too. Okay. I was for sure there. One thing about me, bro, I don't make shit up, nigga. So a nigga ain't never gotta question me. If I say something, it happened. If I say I was somewhere, you best believe I was there, nigga. I don't lie about nothing. I'm not saying you say that, but you said that, bad vibes. I'm just saying. If I say something or if I say I was somewhere, this is not a new video. I've been made these videos like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, or some shit like that. Facts. What's his name? All them little blood niggas that went on Queen's Flip and all that, they been on my channel commenting and all types of shit. Facts. I was really around for that vibe when it went down on Queens Flip. Just before that cat went to jail. What was that other cat's name that went to jail, nigga? That Spanish dude. He may be talking about how the My Bloods took their thing from me. A-Trade Crip book. He's maybe hold on. He's maybe talking about how the Bloods took their thing from a A-Trade Crip book. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they got from a Crip book. I don't get into them, but I get what you're saying. A few Bloods said that. What this guy said, Bad Vibes, he said, I was there too. This is Bad Vibes. You was there too? That's what's up. I don't even know what you're talking about, Bad Vibes, but maybe you're talking about when I was talking about HDM. Why you said New York is a joke? This nigga said New York is a joke. Your mother's a joke, nigga. Your mother's a crackhead, that bitch. Disrespectfully. Now you could comment. This nigga said King Killer. I'm your grandmother killer, nigga. You heard? Yo, but you know why? I gotta stop playing with these niggas because I'm really like that. Like I'll punch one of y'all in your face, right? And I will look for you, like from this whole YouTube shit, right? And I'll find you, and then you're not gonna think it's funny. But normally, when I find you, you a white piece of shit little nigga, or you fucking like a gay looking nigga, and I gotta hem you the fuck up. So that's the reason why I stay away from. I try to learn, like, yo, don't say nothing to these niggas, cause you gotta understand. You see, like a derelict like him, he delete his comments after that, right? And I'm monetized, my nigga. You get it? And I've been monetized. This channel has been monetized for over 7 years, bro. I started this channel monetized. I've never even caught a strike. Facts. You get it? And I go hard sometimes, but that's one of the reasons why I stay off of. Like, I peeped it. I said, let me stay off these topics because I killed that blood topic. I was ringing that topic, nigga. You can ask anybody, right, Machete? I was on some blood and Latin King shit. Bloods, Latin Kings, blood, Latin Kings, blood, every day, nigga. Facts. I got some of my videos went viral, nigga. Disrespectfully, nigga, with 3,000 plus likes, nigga. Facts. They all the way in the bottom. You see, my guy said word. Facts. And I fell back from that shit. Why did I fall back from that shit? Oh, probably like, cause a lot of dudes wanted just the story, nigga. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Then you got derelict niggas. Yo, bro, I'm talking about derelict niggas. The super derelict doing blood stories, king stories. I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this derelict nigga? Like, you get it? Look at this nigga. King Killer all day. Manic Latin disciples. Yo, look at this dude, right? But check this out. Look at these dudes. How weird these niggas are. You want me to show you something? Look, bro. Look at how much derelict. Look at how much of a derelict this dude is. Look. Look, bro. I'm gonna show you. Look. Look, bro. I'm gonna show you. Look. 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 Look at what a derelict this nigga is. Look. Look, well, hold up. I got something for you. Could you see that? Could you guys see that? You didn't see that right now? Nah, you didn't see it. I'm gonna have to put it. I took a. Hold on. I screenshot it. But check this out. Look at the dude. Son just commented, right? Watch. I'm gonna show you something. That's why don't ever answer none of these niggas back that's trying to talk shit or this or whatever, right? This is why you never answer these niggas back. Hold on. Damn, bro. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Check it. Look at, you could see that? You guys could see that, right? Oh my God. So, can you see that? Hold on. Because if you can't. Oh yeah, you can see it. You see that name right there? You see that name right there? I just went to the dude's page. Right? I just went to his page. And that's what this derelict has up there, bro. Bro, you're a derelict, nigga. Look, and he deleted all his comments. He deleted all his comments. You see why I don't fuck with these niggas? Now, you see why I tell you, don't listen to these people commenting. The only nigga that I could tell you that was really partly commenting, because they commenting though, don't get it twisted. It's an actual comment. It's a person, right? But he opened that page just to come and comment over here. Now, I let them. I don't care. You making a person's channel rotate or play around even more, right? So go ahead. You could do that all day, nigga. When I'm tired of you, I'm going to block you. Believe me, right? So, you should have not even deleted him, Machete. But it's all good. But check it. Yeah, because dudes, they be playing, bro. So, like the dudes, like bad vibes in them, right? Like bad vibes. Anyway. Like, yo, why this shit don't leave from this channel, bro? I don't even have that shit up no more. Oh, I have it up here. Damn, I'm bugging out. I'm bugging, so I had it up here on this thing. Fuck. I thought it was still like I had to go over there and take it off. I forgot I put it up over there. But like bad vibes, that's not a fake. You know, he's not. And believe me that I believe that niggas are so pussy. Niggas are so pussy, nigga. Facts. I could talk like that, nigga. I'll say that here and I'll say it in your face, in anybody's face. Niggas are so pussy that that's what they do. But niggas is also so pussy that a nigga won't make a fake bad vibes page. You get it? That's how pussy these niggas are. Niggas are so pussy, you won't even open up a fake bad vibes page. Not that you should do it, right? Hold up. I'm not trying to mix up the aceite, but that's how I know that's really bad vibes. You get it? Because I understand the pussy that some of these niggas could be. Facts. That they won't even dare open up a bad vibes page, a page that says bad vibes. You get it? But yeah, this nigga said, oh, you're scared of Blue Boy. Yeah, I'm so scared of Blue Boy. Blue Boy was trying to talk to me. Facts, respectfully, and I say that with respects. You get it? Blue Boy, just in case now, which reminds me, let me tell that story too. I've been said this though. Blue Boy reached out to me, bro, over 7 times, bro. Facts, respectfully, trying to get with me. Facts. He even went to the yo Machete, you remember the dude that I said that I saved? I punched the blood off the nigga, ping ping. I snuffed the 2 blood niggas, ping ping, when they was jumping Meg's co-defender in HDM, and it was me and Dizzy. That's when Dizzy was in my house. We was in 1B. And what was that nigga's name, bro? Damn. Anyway, one of the blood niggas that got involved, that Dizzy grabbed him, boom. Damn, I forgot this nigga's name. I've been saying this nigga's name all day. It be like that. Boom. Damn. Well, anyway. What this nigga's talking about, bro? Is this little nigga. He throwing me off. This nigga said scheme team made me tuck my tail in. Bro, I never even had no problem with scheme team, nigga. You sound stupid. You probably fell, nigga. You know how you cut that short? Look, since you so tough, you can suck my dick. What about that? I just invited you to my dick. What you gonna do? You're so tough, you could suck my dick, nigga. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do, nigga? I'm outside every day. Everybody know I post my street, my block, the front of my house is on the internet, nigga. You get it? Like, he's talking, like, look, this is how you do these niggas. That's how I give it up, nigga. When I want to diss a nigga, I tell him what I just told you. Nigga, suck my dick, nigga. Facts. This is what happens, Machete. You get it? Niggas think a nigga playing, right? But if a nigga that really know me, a nigga would tell anybody, yo, son, watch your body around that little nigga. Facts. You get it? But this nigga's a banco, nigga. He just talking a talk. Yeah, look. That nigga said I was in jail messing with trannies. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was. Yeah, bro, that's what I hate. They open up fake pages, bro, just to troll, bro. But guess what? I leave them there. Let them troll. Bro, I let them troll sometimes. You get it? Unless when they get too crazy, then they out of here. But I let them troll and fuck around and say things and whatever they want to say. I used to knock them off and take all of them out of here. I used to delete everybody. But I don't do that no more. Because he's no threat. He's really a nobody. If you go to his page, you feel the air. You feel me? It's a different times. Things change. Let them bros tell them story, bro, the way it is, B. You feel me?
100%.
But I get it. It brings unnecessary heat. And a lot of people will be in jail. Point blank. Real gang dudes. Because a lot of these dudes are force claiming on the internet. You understand? For clout. Mm-hmm. I'm blood. I'm this. I'm that. You know what I mean? But when you ask the real dudes I'm with outside that I know, the bloods I know, because when people talk about me with, oh, this dude's just mad or hating, bro, if you look at my videos, 90% of my videos, I'm talking about bloods or I'm with bloods in the videos. Like, you sound dumb. But it goes to show you how phony it is. But with the dudes that I'm with, when I talk to them, they be like, they don't know some of these. But I could tell you some of the dudes on the internet were blood and they were with me. Like Disco, I remember those names from the years ago. You know, now that the people are older and people are playing with people's names and all that, that's weird to me. Because you would be bowing down to Disco and certain dudes. And I'm not talking about the people they got the problem with now. I'm talking about in general. I seen it. I was there. I seen the respect level. You know what I'm saying? Facts. So anyway, I think it was needed. The Kings and the Nietas, I think it's needed now. I think the Bloods right now is one of the biggest gangs in the jail, and they became the oppressor. But what facts people don't know is that from the beginning, they was always trying to oppress. Respectfully is the fact. I'm not talking about the ones of today, because people take it personally. Like, oh, you talking about, bro, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about when I was there.
You was there,
Were
exactly.
you there with me?
Exactly.
I'm talking about the ones that were there with me, right? And I was there when Bloods became Bloods. Remember, I just mentioned Smokes. I was on the island when the Smokes were on the island. I was there when the Blood started. Facts. We made the Blood start. I was king on Rikers Island, upstate, everywhere, nigga. Everywhere. My name is Warpath. Ask about me, nigga. Facts. So, all my stories, my whole channel has always been about Bloods, Latin King stories. I just started talking about other shit and shit like that. Facts. My name is King Warpath, bro. I don't know how a nigga be king and then a nigga stop being king. Nigga, you sound stupid, kid. Get the fuck out of here. These niggas is clowns, bro. How a nigga, this is how you know these niggas are non-gang niggas or non-nation niggas. Stop lying in the past. You're good. You're not king. Bro, I'm king to the day I die, nigga. You bugging? This nigga is stupid, nigga. But respectfully, bro, thanks a lot for watching me while I make my money on YouTube, nigga. You was a good sport. But anyway, damn, bro, I put that video on and it just made me keep watching it. And I wasn't even going to watch it because I'm not supposed to watch the video. You get it? I watched it on my other channel on Golden Culture. Damn, I'm trying to, look. I came over here. This is my other channel, Golden Culture. Golden Culture with a K, nigga. Facts. These niggas are stupid, bro. Like, all the time I used to get that from niggas. Like, yo, won't y'all niggas say that now about Blue Boy? Nigga, I played mad jokes with Blue Boy about Blue Boy. Blue Boy was still trying to talk to me, nigga. Disrespectfully to you, nigga. Not to Blue Boy, because Blue Boy's a good dude. But that's how much people know, bro. His people spoke to me. I spoke to them. All types of shit. Like over 12 times. They even had my man. I put it up. I put it up. Like, yo, Blue Boy wants to talk to you. I said I could have helped Blue Boy. Besides, I should have. If I would have reached out to him, he probably would have never went to jail, bro. But I'm everywhere, nigga. Look me up. Look. Of Crip. Facts. Everybody cripping out here. You heard? Facts, nigga. I don't know how that video got there. Oh, that's on the lockout. That's on this channel. I thought I was watching Golden Culture. I mean, yeah, and that's on the lockout. How the fuck is that video there? Oh, because of this page? Oh, on the lockout playlist. I put that playlist. Okay. Yeah, they let me add the Golden Culture playlist to the On the Lockout playlist on fucking I played them. I put it on this channel. You get it? Facts. Remember this kid? Let me see that. That's fake. Holy snap. I'll show you how to get it, boy. Facts.
Shocking new video shows the moment a driver in a stolen Ferrari
Stay
goes
up,
on a
bro.
wild ride,
See ya
crashing
tomorrow.
right
Boom,
into a
boom,
utility
boom.
pole in Brickell. That driver did not get away unscathed.
Yeah, he suffered cuts to his face and is now in jail after being treated at the hospital. CBS News.
Yo. Why would you rather be on the rock instead of upstate? Mad movement and programs upstate, up top. Nah, nigga. That's all you into is movement. I'm into getting drugs and making money, nigga. Facts. I'm making my money on the island. A lot respectfully, most of the niggas that wanna leave the island and go up top is because they pussy. Facts. And they scared. I stayed on the island for 3 years when I could have already probably been up north, and then I found out I probably could have been home. Facts. I promise you, nigga. I went to trial 3 different times for homicide, boy. Look me up, bro. I keep telling niggas, look me up, nigga. Do your homework, nigga. Ask about me. Ask the real right niggas. Where this little nigga went? This bad vibe nigga. I was trying to talk to him, bro, when I seen his comment. Yeah, that's the real bad vibe. Yeah, nigga. I'm outside, nigga. I live in New York City, bro. In real life, boy. Facts. What I'm saying is don't ever ask none of these pussy niggas about me or nothing. You have to understand. A nigga told me he asked fucking Latin Pain about me. Nigga, Latin Pain does not know me. He does never been around me. None of my niggas know that little nigga in New York City, bro. None of the kings I know, not one of them knows that nigga in New York City, but respectfully. Now, that he was king or whatever, he came on my page. I put him up there so he could say, he said he was. Don't talk to him about kings. He don't want to know about kings. That's why I put him on my page. I put him up there to embarrass him so y'all could know that he's not that. Now, if he keeps claiming that on his channel, you have to understand where they live at, nobody lives around them. No thorough niggas live around them or nothing, nigga. What the fuck are y'all watching, bro? Can't you could just tell. Okay, no thorough niggas live where you live at, nigga. Come on, bro. Disrespectfully, nigga. You get it? Since you want to mention them niggas like them niggas mean something to me, nigga. You bugging? Them niggas ain't even king, nigga. Like, there's... Who said it? He said it himself. Facts. Unless he's just claiming king again. But he been said himself. He's from church. Right? I'm just keeping it a stack, right? So let's keep it real, bro. Don't talk to me about niggas I don't know. I wouldn't hang out with. I wouldn't even hang out with them niggas in my life, bro. Those are not niggas I would hang out with. I don't hang out with dirty. You get it? I'm a real right nigga, bro. Facts. All day, every day. Stay up, bro. It's King Warpath. I'm out. Check out the videos. Stay tuned. Tomorrow and every day. Blowing up the vibe. I do what I want. I'll pay somebody to tell me to take something down from my channel, my platform. Yo, you gotta delete that or anything. I bet you I'll boom you in your face. Facts.